Welcome. Today, we're diving into one of the most transformative forces hitting healthcare, artificial intelligence in nursing. And look, this isn't some far-off futuristic idea. This is about the real-world operational, clinical, and financial decisions that are on your plate right now. So, I want to kick things off with a pretty big question. Is your hospital truly prepared for what's coming? Because we're talking about a shift on the same scale as the move to electronic health records. It's a fundamental change to everything: workflows, decision-making, and what it even means to be a nurse today. All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll talk about why AI isn't just a nice to have anymore. Then we'll get right into the nuts and bolts, the operational and financial wins. After that, we'll explore how it makes patient care better. We'll also tackle the risks head on because you have to. And finally, we'll wrap up with a clear step-by-step roadmap to get you there. Let's face it, the pressure in healthcare right now is just immense. You've got nurse shortages, patients who are more complex than ever before, and a constant push for better access to care. AI is no longer a luxury, it's becoming an essential tool to actually deal with these massive challenges. And to be really clear, when we say AI, we're not talking about just another software update or a new button in your EHR. We're talking about a system that can digest enormous amounts of data and perform complex tasks, essentially acting as a co-pilot to augment the incredible decision-making skills of your clinical staff. Okay, let's talk about the bottom line, because for any leader, the big question is always about the return on investment. How does pouring money and resources into this technology actually make your organization financially and operationally healthier? Well, the problem and the opportunity starts right here. The American Nurse Journal points out something we all know. The sheer weight of documentation is a massive driver of burnout. And burnout leads to turnover, which hits your staffing costs hard. It's a costly cycle. And just how big is this opportunity? Get this, some studies show nurses spend up to 40% of their shift on documentation. 40%! Just stop and think about that. Imagine giving even a fraction of that time back to your nurses for actual, hands-on patient care. That number represents a colossal efficiency gain that's just sitting there, waiting to be unlocked. So how do we unlock it? The key is a technology called natural language processing, or NLP. This is the magic behind the scenes. It's the AI that can understand a nurse's spoken words, like patient reports sharp pain in the lower right quadrant, and automatically and accurately fill out the chart. It's a direct assault on that documentation crisis. And that's just the beginning. Look at how this technology ripples out. Sure, NLP crushes the documentation burden, but AI can also predict patient demand to create smarter, more balanced schedules, which directly fights burnout. It can help prioritize triage, making sure the sickest patients get seen first. And in really high-cost areas, like perioperative oncology, predictive analytics can streamline patient pathways, justifying that initial capital spend. Each of these is a straight line to improving your operational margins. Of course, the numbers are important, but we all know that's only half the story. The real mission is and always will be patient care. So let's pivot and look at how these same technologies can dramatically lift the bar for clinical excellence and patient safety. Just picture a chaotic emergency department. Traditional triage is incredibly tough. It relies on a nurse who might be stressed, tired, and dealing with information overload. Now imagine an AI-assisted system. It's constantly scanning the EHR in the background, vitals, labs, patient history, and can flag subtle patterns that a human might miss, providing a consistent, data-driven safety check. Now, this image really gives you a sense of the sheer breadth of tools we're talking about. We won't go through every single one, but you can see how it spans everything from machine learning that predicts patient risks to computer vision that can monitor for falls. The main takeaway here is that this isn't just one thing. It's a whole suite of specialized tools for the modern nurse. Think of AI as an incredibly powerful safety net. A good clinical decision support system can catch potential medication errors before they happen. Early warning systems can analyze vital signs in real time and predict sepsis hours before a human could spot it. AI can even help personalize care by analyzing social determinants of health to flag at-risk patients for preventative outreach. And you've got emerging tools like AI-guided ultrasound that can help a nurse nail a difficult IV line on the first try. Okay, so this all sounds great, but a smart strategy means being brutally honest about the challenges. Rolling out AI isn't some simple plug-and-play process. If you want to build trust and actually succeed, you have to talk about the risks and the ethical minefields right from the start. And these are the big ones. First, algorithmic bias is a huge deal. If your AI learns from historical data that contains health disparities, guess what? It's going to recommend care that continues those same disparities. That means you absolutely have to audit these systems for fairness. Then there are the technical headaches, like getting these new tools to actually talk to your old EHR system. And we have to be careful about over-reliance, making sure we train nurses to use AI as a partner, not a crutch that erodes their own critical thinking skills. And that brings us to the question that keeps hospital lawyers up at night. When an AI, a black box that even its designers can't fully explain, makes a recommendation that leads to a bad outcome, who's responsible? Is it the doctor, the nurse, the hospital, the software company? You have to have a framework for liability and ethics before you flip the switch, not after something goes wrong. So, with those risks clearly on the table, let's pivot the conversation, because this isn't about replacing nurses, not at all. The real vision here is about empowering them, transforming their role from someone who just does tasks to someone who supervises and interprets powerful technology. We're talking about a massive evolution of the job. The nurse of tomorrow is a big data interpreter. They're an AI system supervisor. They're a technology integrator. Heck, even their training is changing. We're seeing nurse educators use generative AI, things like ChatGPT, to instantly create incredibly realistic, interactive case studies for their students. It's a whole new world. And this is why your nursing staff is the most critical piece of the puzzle. They are the essential bridge between the tech geeks building the algorithms and the reality of the patient's bedside. They're the ones who can say, that's a great idea, but it will never work in our workflow. Getting their buy-in and involving them from day one isn't just a good idea, it's the only way this works. Okay, let's bring it all home. We've talked about the why, the what, and the what to watch out for. Now let's translate that into an actionable plan. This is a high-level look at a smart, phased approach to bringing AI into your organization. You don't just jump into the deep end. You start with a thorough assessment of where you are now. Then you launch small, targeted pilot programs, maybe in 1 or 2 units, to test the tech and get real-world feedback. Only after you've proven it works there do you move to a wider rollout. And it doesn't stop there. You have to constantly monitor performance and stay on top of the ever-changing policies and regulations. And you have to measure success. You can't just hope this is working, you have to prove it. That means tracking very specific metrics. Is your infrastructure truly seamless? Are your nurses actually completing the training? Are they using the tools? And the big one, can you draw a direct line from using these AI tools to better patient outcomes and a healthier bottom line? You need the data to back it up. So we'll leave you with this final thought. AI is coming, and it's fundamentally reshaping the nursing profession. The question you have to ask yourself as a leader is no longer if you're going to deal with this. The question is how you are going to lead your organization through this transformation.